most people won't come out and say, I am a nihilist. Most of them, I mean, Benatar, I think, comes the closest, but even he won't say, I'm a nihilist. He's like, I'm just an antinatalist. I don't want people to kill each other. I don't
Yeah.
want an increase of suffering. I just think it would be better if no humans existed. And we should take proactive measures to stop having kids so that that comes about. And it's like, okay. So, I mean, he himself is saying nihilists would go further than this. So
But
the
it's
the
it's the
consequences of
same,
nihilism are clearly horrendous. And
right?
if his consequences, which are admittedly less than that, are the ending of all human life. Um, he's sort of, you might say he's like a pacifist nihilist. He wants nihilism, the ends of nihilism to be brought about without violence. He wants people just to voluntarily stop existing because
Wow. I mean, it
anyway.
sounds like maybe Justin Trudeau and some of the other people at the World Economic Forum have taken a page out of his playbook. I mean, they have what
Mhm.
assisted suicide up in Canada. Uh, I mean, just a bunch
Yeah.
of different things going on,
Mhm. Yeah,
in that regard.
there's I know of people who would hear me talk about David Benatar and be like, ah, that's just some weird guy. But like within the last, it might be closer to 7 years ago now, but there was a person in the United States who tried to sue their parents for being born. And it's right out of the antinatalist philosophy. It's life is so terrible. And I haven't defined this yet, so this would be a good time. So antinatalism, as David Benatar has it, is the belief that the human condition, the human conscious condition, is so bad that it would be better if it never existed. So
How empty. Yeah.
yeah, so there's people who are literally acting on this, who have said, I didn't choose to be born and my parents have inflicted this suffering on me, so I'm going to sue them. As far as I know, that was tossed out as nonsense. Thank God, but people are seeing that as a valid argument and trying to make headway with it. And then there's more subtle ones of whether or not they're aware of antinatalism as a philosophy. There's I knew a guy for a while, he wore a t-shirt regularly that said, please don't breed. Like there's
Wow.
a common sentiment in the world that humans should stop reproducing. So it's not, unfortunately, it's not that wacky. It's pretty well representative of a lot of what's going on, even though people aren't necessarily read up on David Benatar or actively saying I'm an anti-natalist, they're acting out the propositions nonetheless. Um, and then the other thing I thought of was I was just hiking on a trip, and coming the other way was a woman wearing a t-shirt that said, all we are is slow decay. And
Entropy.
I had like several moments after she passed of like processing this of like that's the shirt you decided to wear, right?
Wow.
And
In
and
nature. Yeah.
and that's, well, yeah, in nature. Well, there's, okay, so I mean you can look at the natural world and you see that life springs out of decay, and decay is sort of the, in a way, a foundation of things. So there's, anyways, there's this whole train of thought in my head, but like you were saying, like people ooze this, people project it, like
Mhm.
regardless of how much that person thought it through, they went out that day with a placard on them that declared their view of the world, that everything is death and decay. Um, so, and I think that's, that's a pretty good emblem of nihilism.